Someone that you could never miss, no matter how hard you try, is our very own travel guy, Mr. Radio Roaming himself, Steve Collins. Welcome back.
Yes, I'm one of your crew cuts by the look of it, aren't I, really? Yeah.
Well, yes, there is a bit of glare on your head.
There's a lot of you. Got some dulling spray, please? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we had enough dulling spray for that, but what have you been doing? I bet you've been to the Gold Coast.
I have been. Well, I've been to the Brisbane and the Gold Coast.
What made you go there?
Well, I was invited over. Most of the travel I do, I'm invited to go. I went over to Brisbane, the Gold Coast, to try the SkyTrain, actually. Now, there's only one flight a day from Perth to Coolangatta, which is the Gold Coast Airport, but there are heaps to Brisbane. So if you want to go to the Gold Coast, particularly from Perth, one of the best ways to get there is to go via Brisbane because you've got more choice. And from Brisbane Airport, you walk straight right out of the door, and there's the station, the SkyTrain station.
I love Brisbane because they're so... I went to New Zealand and we went to that... Is that the train that you get on the train and it takes you to the domestic?
Yeah, I wish we had that in Perth. It goes from the domestic to the international into the city.
We could do with that here in WA.
We can, it's fantastic. And it's elevated. It runs every 15 minutes. It's about an hour. Depends where you go to. There's 4 stations on the Gold Coast, so it depends which station you go to. It's between an hour and a half to get down there. A lovely train, and for the first 8.5 kilometres it's elevated, so you're going over and you see all the things that are happening at the airport. It's fantastic, and then you see quite a lot of Brisbane.
And you know, there's no excuse for not going to Brisbane and the Gold Coast. I've seen fares from about $129. Sometimes they have such cheap.
Really.
Did you go over with the Dreamliner or did you go over with the normal?
No. I don't know that there's a Dreamliner that flies from Perth.
Because it's about what, 6-7 hours?
No, it's just over 5 hours to get to Brisbane, and a bit more to get back. Yeah.
What did you do, fly AirAsia?
No, I flew over on Virgin Australia and I flew back on Jetstar.
You know, AirAsia can go where no other airline was. They're like the enterprise of airlines.
Yes, they go anywhere.
I mean, what's your take? I know you're going to talk about the Gold Coast. What's your take on this ash cloud?
AirAsia goes to the Gold Coast, but from KL, not from Perth.
The ash cloud. Every other airline stopped flying. AirAsia kept flying. Would you fly with them if every other airline stopped flying?
Well, it depends. Well, you're talking about Bali, of course.
What do you recommend to people?
Australian Airlines, they have a much better safety record, of course, but and they come under CASA, which is the Australian authority. So they're very, very strict. So they probably wouldn't be allowed to, even if they thought we might take a chance. But I have no problem with AirAsia.
AirAsia comes under ash cloud, does it?
Well, no. The trouble,
apparently they fly higher.
It's actually wrong to call it an ash cloud, because what they're worried about is the fact that it's tiny bits of bubbly glass, and it's the glass that gets into the engines. If it was just ash, it wouldn't be a big problem because they fly through clouds all the time.
It's like particles of glass.
Yeah, particles of glass,
and obviously can destroy the engine.
which can destroy it, because you're going through them at about 600 and something k's an hour, so that does a little bit of damage. That's a problem.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's got nothing to do with the Gold Coast.
Let's talk about the Gold Coast.
Because there is no ash cloud over the Gold Coast that I know of.
So what did you do when you went there?
I did. Well, it was fantastic. I used to go to the Gold Coast a lot because my son lived there. But this time I had 2 of the best experiences I had. And the first one was that I did Australia's highest external building climb. I did.
Have you got any proof?
I have got proof, and here it is right here.
Okay.
Hey viewers, this is a No Worries for Mill on the top of Sky Point, and this is the Gold Coast.
Have a look at that. Have a look at that. The view up there is fantastic. We are 270 metres.
Is that the tallest?
That's the tallest skywalk. Because externally, you go up to the 77th floor, and then you walk outside, and then you start climbing.
So is this like, you know, the bridge?
243 steps on top of it. Look at it. Look at that. Oh, this is double the height of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
And you're all restrained and all that sort of...
very, very safety conscious, but it is absolutely fantastic. Gorgeous views you can see up.
You're obviously not scared of heights, but are you?
I wasn't worried about the height. I was gobsmacked by the view. It is one of the best things.
Can you take photos, or do they take them?
Yeah, I had a camera, but they strap it to you. You've got everything's strapped to you so that nothing can fall. But you take your camera out there.
So what does it cost to do that?
It costs, I think it's about $75.
That's pretty good.
But most of that, of course, is in insurance. And you go in there, you've got to get dressed in all the right gear, you go through the safety instruction, and then you get the lift to the 77th floor. Oh, yeah, no, it's great.
To do the Harbour
Bridge,
Bridge,
an hour and a half all up to do it.
Amazing.
was fantastic.
No meal, no drinks on the top there?
Well, no, up on the 77th floor I had a great meal on the observation deck. They've got a restaurant there. I didn't take any food outside, no, because the seagulls might have gone for it. No, it's too high for the seagulls. But, you know, we could see Mount Warning in the distance, and there was a storm coming in, and we were watching this storm coming in. Now, we got out well and truly before it hit, but it was fantastic.
So well worth the go.
Yeah, well, it was. The second thing I did was the next day I had to get up at 3:45 a.m. Sorry, we had to leave the hotel at 3:45 a.m. because we went hot air ballooning. Have you ever been hot air ballooning?
No, not at all. I'd love to. I'm scared.
Here it is. Look at this.
Again, you've done a couple of scary things.
Is the most this is the best flying I've ever done because you have no sensation that you're being carried by the wind, and apart from the fact that they've got that big noisy burner there, it's absolutely
Where do they do
silent.
this?
This was in the hinterland, about an hour from the Gold Coast, inside in the hinterland of Queensland.
And do you get to fly your own balloon, or just
No, you have a pilot, but I think there were about 12 people in our balloon, or maybe a few more. Massive, great big thing.
Yep.
And it is just wonderful, and you just glide across the earth.
I've always wondered, is it smooth or rough?
Very, very smooth, because what they do is they ride the air currents and say you're ascending and descending all the time. And we got quite low there.
Oh, wow.
And see, this is how we landed. They actually landed us by tipping us over. Now, you've got restraints, and you've got to hold on like that to...
and you're wearing your yellow wind sheet,
yeah. And the cows came down to look at us because we landed in the cow paddock. It was just fantastic. One of the best experiences you could have. And then afterwards, we went to O'Reilly's for a champagne breakfast, and that's a great way to...
As you would.
It's wonderful.
What does that cost?
I can't tell you that.
Probably nothing to you, but you're promoting.
Well, you're right, actually. I'm not sure.
Is it expensive to do balloon races?
Look,
$200.
I think that would cost you about $175, a little bit more, because there's a whole package. They pick you up from your hotel and they take you in there. They've got a large crew, and they've got to have a support crew. They've got to have a chasing crew, and then afterwards you go back and you have the champagne breakfast at this most gorgeous vineyard.
Do you get air sick on those balloons?
Well, I didn't.
You're pretty good.
Well, but you know, it's just amazing. You're sitting there and you're gliding across it all, and you've got the best views of it, and it's really quite a magical experience to go up on a hot air balloon. Well, I didn't have any fear at all, no, and I had faith in the pilot, because he'd done 1,700 hours of ballooning, piloting a balloon, so he knew what he was doing.
Fantastic.
And it was just great. What a wonderful, wonderful way to see the Earth from above. I mean, anywhere you go, I would recommend hot air balloon. If you've never done it, try it.
Do it. Thank you very much. Yep. Now, for more details, where can people go?
You go to radioroaming.com.
There it is on screen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, we're going to get you back on our Christmas show to talk about some Christmas destinations.
Yes. You wanted me to come dressed as a turkey for some reason?
I reckon that or Father Christmas would have probably been okay. But
I can do the Father Christmas.
And by all means, interject when Demelza does her music.
I normally do, because I pick her up on things when she's wrong.
I think you're right in doing it. I should get you to sit next to him.